Wait. Before you spend your next 10-cent coin, listen carefully, because one ordinary Australian 10-cent coin has sold for thousands of dollars. The same size, the same metal, the same design, but one small difference in condition turned pocket change into serious money. Most people never look twice. Serious collectors do. And today, you're about to discover why that tiny coin in your hand could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's get started. First up, what if I told you that a coin made in 2010, a coin that feels modern, common, and completely ordinary, has reached $19,000 at auction? Most people think only old, silver, or gold coins are valuable. But the 2010 Australian 10-cent coin proves that even a recent decimal issue can become a serious collector prize when condition and demand come together. Let's take a deep, careful look at this coin and understand why one example could command such a powerful price. The 2010 Australian 10-cent coin was struck by the Royal Australian Mint in Australia. Like other standard circulation 10-cent coins of this period, it does not carry a mint mark. Many collectors who are used to American coins expect a small letter under the date, but for Australian 10-cent coins, no mint mark is normal. This coin weighs 5.65 grams and measures 23.60 millimeters in diameter. It has a reeded edge. The metal composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. There is no silver content. That means the coin's melt value is very low. Its collector value has nothing to do with precious metal and everything to do with condition, rarity at the highest grades, and market competition. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. The inscription reads Elizabeth II Australia 2010. When grading this coin, experts look closely at the Queen's hair detail, facial features, and the smoothness of the fields around the portrait. Even the smallest friction or dullness can reduce the grade. Turn the coin over and you will see the famous superb lyrebird designed by Stuart Devlin. The bird's dramatic tail feathers are the heart of the reverse design. Above it is Australia, and below it is 10 cents. The feather detail is critical. In circulated examples, these fine lines become worn and blended. In top-grade coins, every feather line is sharp, separated, and fully struck. Now here is the important part. Millions of 2010 10-cent coins were struck for circulation. Because of this, most examples are common. You can still find them in everyday change. The majority of these coins are worth exactly 10 cents. Even lightly worn examples may only bring a small premium. So why would one sell for $19,000? The answer is elite condition rarity. Modern coins face a special problem. Even before they reach circulation, they are stored and transported in large bags. During this process, coins hit each other and develop small contact marks called bag marks. These tiny marks are enough to lower a coin's grade under professional standards. When coins are submitted to grading services, they are evaluated on a scale from mint state 60 up to mint state 70. In MS63 or MS64, coins may have noticeable marks but still show full mint luster. In MS65 or MS66, the surfaces must be much cleaner, with fewer distractions. But when you move into MS67, MS68, or higher, you enter extremely rare territory. At that level, a coin must have outstanding luster, nearly flawless surfaces, a sharp strike, and exceptional eye appeal. Only a very small percentage of coins qualify for these grades. That is where the market begins to heat up. Population reports from grading companies show how many coins exist in each grade. If a 2010 10-cent coin becomes one of the finest known examples, meaning there are very few or none graded higher, collectors compete aggressively to own it. Registry set collectors, who aim to build the highest graded decimal sets possible, will often pay strong premiums for the best available coin. Strike quality also plays a major role. Some 2010 coins may show slightly weaker feather detail on the lyrebird. A fully struck example with bold feather lines and bright cartwheel luster across the fields is far more desirable. Eye appeal matters. A coin that looks vibrant and clean will always attract more attention than one with dull surfaces. Collectors also examine coins carefully for mint errors. While errors from 2010 are not extremely common, possibilities include off-center strikes, clip planches, die cracks, die clashes, and double dies. A verified and dramatic error in high grade can significantly increase value beyond a normal issue. Another factor is long-term survival in pristine condition. Most people do not carefully preserve 10-cent coins. They are mixed in jars, scratched in pockets, and handled frequently. As years pass, the number of flawless examples becomes smaller. Demand from collectors remains steady or increases, especially for top population coins. Now let's focus on the number that makes headlines. A superb, top-grade example of the 2010 Australian 10-cent coin has achieved an auction result of $19,000. That price reflects an elite condition coin, professionally graded at one of the highest levels, with exceptional strike, luster, and minimal imperfections. It does not represent the value of an average coin in circulation. It represents the value of one of the very best examples known. This is the power of modern coin collecting. A coin just over a decade old can become a high-value collectible if it survives in extraordinary condition. Two coins with the same date and design can have completely different futures. One may always be worth face value. The other, preserved almost perfectly since it left the mint, can become a serious investment piece. If you have a 2010 Australian 10-cent coin, examine it carefully under strong light. Tilt it and watch for bright, flowing luster. Check the lyrebird's feathers for full sharpness. Look for marks, scratches, or dull patches. If it appears nearly flawless, it may be worth professional grading. And remember, never clean your coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and destroy its value. The lesson is simple but powerful. Age does not decide value. Metal content does not decide value. Condition and rarity at the highest grade levels decide value. So before you spend that 2010 10-cent coin, take one extra moment to inspect it. That small piece of change could carry unexpected potential. Keep learning, keep checking, and never underestimate the coins in your pocket. Next up, before you ignore that 2007 Australian 10-cent coin in your change, stop for a moment, because one example of this exact date has reached an incredible values. Yes, a coin that most people still spend without thinking has proven that condition and rarity can turn everyday money into serious wealth. Let's break this down clearly and simply. The 2007 Australian 10-cent coin was struck by the Royal Australian Mint in Australia. Like other standard circulation 10-cent coins, it does not have a mint mark. Many new collectors assume something is missing when they don't see a letter. But for this denomination and year, no mint mark is exactly how it should be. The coin is made from 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 5.65 grams. The diameter is 23.60 millimeters. It has a reeded edge. There is no silver content. There is no gold. Its high value has absolutely nothing to do with metal price. Everything comes down to preservation, grading, and market demand. On the front of the coin, you will see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Around the image are the words Elizabeth II Australia 2007. When you examine this side, focus on the high points, the Queen's hair, the cheek area, and the fine lines around the portrait. Any flattening or dullness here usually means circulation wear. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the beautiful superb lyrebird, designed by Stuart Devlin. This design has been used on Australian 10-cent coins for decades. The lyrebird's long, flowing tail feathers are full of fine detail. These feather lines are extremely important when grading. Sharp, separated feather strands indicate strong strike and preservation. Blended or smooth feathers indicate wear. Now here's the reality. Millions of 2007 10-cent coins were produced for circulation. Most were used daily. Most were dropped into tills, pockets, and jars. The majority of them today are worth exactly 10 cents. In average circulated condition, there is no rarity. So how does one sell for tens of thousands? The answer is top-grade scarcity. Modern coins often face a unique challenge. They are produced in large numbers, but very few are carefully saved in flawless condition. Even coins that never enter circulation can suffer from contact marks while stored in mint bags. These tiny marks may look small, but under professional grading standards, they matter a lot. In lower mint state grades like MS63 or MS64, a 2007 10-cent coin may have several noticeable bag marks or slightly dull luster. In MS65 or MS66, the surfaces must be cleaner and the eye appeal stronger. But when you reach MS67 and higher, you enter a completely different level. At MS67 or above, the coin must have exceptional luster, extremely minimal contact marks, sharp strike detail, and outstanding overall eye appeal. These coins are rare not because of mintage numbers, but because very few survive in such pristine condition. Professional grading companies track how many coins exist in each grade. When a coin becomes one of the finest known examples, meaning there are very few or none graded higher, collector competition increases dramatically. Registry set collectors, who compete to build the highest graded sets, are willing to pay strong premiums for the very best example available. Strike quality also plays a huge role in value. Some 2007 coins may show slightly softer detail in the lyrebird's tail feathers. A coin with bold, full feather definition and strong cartwheel luster across both sides will stand out immediately. The difference between an average uncirculated coin and a superb gem example can mean thousands of dollars. Collectors also look carefully for mint errors. While not common, errors such as off-center strikes, clip planches, die cracks, or dramatic die clashes can bring strong premiums if authenticated. A high-grade 2007 error coin would attract even more attention in the marketplace. Another important factor is long-term survival. Most people do not treat 10-cent coins as special collectibles. They are handled roughly and stored casually. That means finding a nearly flawless example from 2007 becomes harder over time. As years pass, the supply of top-grade coins does not increase, but collector demand often does. Now let's talk about the number that makes headlines. A top population, elite-grade example of the 2007 Australian 10-cent coin has achieved a stunning auction price of $46,800. This figure represents a coin graded at the very highest level, with exceptional strike, brilliant luster, minimal imperfections, and strong collector competition. It does not reflect the value of an average coin from circulation. It reflects the value of one of the finest known examples. This is the power of condition rarity. Two coins with the same date, same design, and same metal can have completely different values. One might buy you nothing more than 10 cents worth of spending power. The other, preserved almost perfectly since the day it was struck, can become a five-figure asset. If you have a 2007 Australian 10-cent coin, take a close look. Use good lighting. Tilt it and check the luster. Study the lyrebird's feathers carefully. Look for sharpness and clean surfaces. If it appears unusually crisp and nearly flawless, consider professional grading. And most importantly, never clean your coin. Cleaning removes original surface and can destroy its value instantly. The key lesson here is simple. Modern coins are not automatically common in top condition. Age does not decide value. Quality does. So the next time you see a 2007 10-cent coin, don't overlook it. That small, everyday piece of change could hold surprising potential. Stay alert, check your coins carefully, and remember, extraordinary value can hide in ordinary places. Next up, most people would never imagine that a coin made in 2005, a coin many of us have spent without a second thought, could ever cross the auction block for more than thousands of dollars. But that is exactly what has happened with the 2005 Australian 10-cent coin in top condition. Today, we're taking a very close look at this modern decimal coin and breaking down why one small piece of cupronickel can turn into a serious five-figure collectible. The 2005 Australian 10-cent coin was struck for circulation in Australia by the Royal Australian Mint. Like other standard 10-cent issues of the modern era, it does not carry a mint mark. That sometimes confuses new collectors who are used to seeing letters like D or S on American coins. For Australian decimal 10-cent coins, no mint mark is completely normal. Let's start with the technical details, because serious collectors always pay attention to specifications. The coin weighs 5.65 grams. It measures 23.60 millimeters in diameter. The edge is reeded. The composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. There is no silver or gold in this coin. Its metal value is minimal. So if it sells for thousands of dollars, it is not because of precious metal. It is because of rarity in condition and collector demand. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Elizabeth II Australia 2005. When examining this coin, pay close attention to the high points of the design. The queen's head detail and the fine lines in the portrait are the first areas to show friction if a coin has circulated. The reverse displays the iconic superb lyrebird, designed by Stuart Devlin. The lyrebird's sweeping tail feathers fill much of the design and create beautiful texture and depth. These feather details are critical when grading. In worn examples, the fine lines in the feathers start to blend together and lose sharpness. In high-grade coins, every feather line remains crisp and fully separated. Now here's the key point. Millions of 2005 10-cent coins were produced. In circulated condition, they are common. You can still find them in everyday change. Most examples are worth exactly 10 cents. Even lightly circulated pieces might only bring a small premium to a collector who needs one to fill a set. But modern coins have a hidden challenge. While large numbers are minted, very few survive in perfect or near perfect condition. When coins leave the mint, they are stored in bulk bags. During transport and handling, they knock against each other. This creates tiny contact marks known as bag marks. Even coins that never enter circulation often have small imperfections. This is where grading becomes extremely important. In lower mint state grades like MS63 or MS64, a 2005 10-cent coin may have noticeable contact marks or minor dullness in luster. These coins are collectible but not rare. As you move into MS65 and MS66, the coin must have fewer marks, stronger eye appeal, and better luster. The price begins to climb. However, the real excitement begins at the very top of the grading scale, MS67 and above. At that level, only a tiny percentage of coins qualify. We are talking about coins with blazing original mint luster, extremely clean surfaces, sharply struck details, and almost no visible marks even under magnification. Population reports from grading services often show very small numbers in these top grades. That scarcity creates competition. Strike quality also plays a role. Some 2005 coins may show slightly weaker strikes in the lyrebird's tail feathers. A fully struck example with bold feather lines and smooth, undisturbed fields is much more desirable. Eye appeal is everything. Bright, even luster that flows across the coin in a strong cartwheel effect can dramatically influence value. Collectors also watch for mint errors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planches, die cracks, die clashes, and double dies are always in demand if authenticated. While most 2005 10-cent coins are normal strikes, a confirmed and dramatic error in high grade can add significant value beyond a standard issue. Another important factor is registry set competition. Many advanced collectors build graded decimal sets and compete for the highest overall ranking. When a coin is listed as the finest known or tied for the highest grade, demand increases sharply. Even a modern coin like 2005 can become a trophy piece if it sits at the top of the population report. Now let's talk about the number that changes everything. A superb, top population example of a 2005 Australian 10-cent coin has realized an auction price of $23,400. That price reflects an elite grade coin, professionally certified at the highest level, with exceptional strike, luster, and eye appeal. It does not represent the average coin from circulation. It represents one of the very best examples known to collectors. This is what makes coin collecting powerful as an investment. Two coins from the same year can look similar at a glance. One might be worth 10 cents. The other, preserved in near-perfect condition and graded at the top of the scale, can bring more than $23,000. The difference is quality and rarity at the highest level. So what should you do if you have a 2005 Australian 10-cent coin? First, examine it carefully under good lighting. Tilt it and watch the luster move across the surface. Check the lyrebird's feather lines for sharpness. Look for marks, scratches, or dull patches. If the coin appears unusually clean and sharply struck, it may be worth professional evaluation. And remember, never clean a coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and destroy its collector value. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Modern does not mean worthless. Age alone does not determine value. Condition, scarcity in top grades, and collector competition are what create five-figure auction results. So before you spend that 10-cent coin dated 2005, take a closer look. That small piece of change could hold surprising potential. Stay sharp, Stay informed, and always check your coins carefully. Next up, the 2002 Australian 10-cent coin can deliver when it shows up in the right condition. Today, we're diving deep into why this modern coin can command serious money and what separates a common piece from a five-figure collectible. The 2002 Australian 10-cent coin was issued by the Royal Australian Mint in Australia. Like other modern 10-cent coins, it does not carry a mint mark. So if you are searching for a tiny letter near the date, you won't find one. That is normal for this series. What truly matters for this coin is not a mint mark, but condition, strike quality, and collector demand. Let's talk about the basics first. The coin weighs 5.65 grams. It measures 23.60 millimeters in diameter. The edge is reeded. The metal composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. There is no silver content. That means its high value does not come from precious metal. It comes entirely from rarity in top grades and the competitive world of modern coin collecting. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. The inscription around the portrait reads Elizabeth II Australia 2002. The details in the Queen's hair and the fine lines in the portrait are extremely important when judging condition. In circulated coins, these high points are the first areas to show wear. Now flip the coin over. The reverse features the elegant superb lyrebird, designed by Stuart Devlin. The bird's dramatic tail feathers curve beautifully across the design. On well-preserved coins, the feather lines are crisp and deeply defined. On worn coins, those feathers look smooth and flat. Millions of 2002 10-cent coins were struck for circulation. Because of that, most examples you find today are common and worth face value. If a coin has been in circulation for years, you will usually see scratches, dull surfaces, and faded luster. Those coins are not rare. So how does a coin from 2002 jump from 10 cents to thousands of dollars? The answer is condition rarity. Modern coins are often produced in large numbers, but very few survive in absolutely pristine condition. When coins are transported in bags from the mint, they hit against each other. These tiny impacts create contact marks. Even before entering circulation, many coins already have small scratches on X. A true high-grade mint state example must show strong original mint luster, minimal contact marks, sharp strike detail, and excellent eye appeal. We're talking about coins graded at the very top of the scale, such as MS67 or higher by professional grading services. In these grades, even the smallest flaw can lower the score. That is why population numbers become extremely small. In grades like MS63 or MS64, a 2002 10-cent coin may sell for a modest premium. In MS65 or MS66, the price increases more noticeably. But when you reach MS67 and above, especially if it is one of the finest known examples, the competition can become intense. Registry collectors who aim to build the highest graded modern decimal sets will fight for the best available coin. Strike quality also matters. Some 2002 coins may show softer details in the lyrebird's tail feathers or slight weakness in the portrait. A sharply struck coin with fully defined feather lines and clean fields is much more desirable. Luster is another key factor. A bright, cartwheel shine across the surface can dramatically increase appeal. Let's not forget about mint errors. While not common, collectors always examine modern coins for off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planches, die cracks, or dramatic die clashes. If a verified error from 2002 exists in high grade, it can push values even higher than a standard example. Even subtle double die varieties, if documented and scarce, can attract strong interest. Another factor is long-term survival. Many people do not think about saving 10-cent coins carefully. They get tossed into jars, drawers, or used daily. That means finding a perfectly preserved example from regular circulation strikes is harder than most people think. Over time, high-grade survivors become scarcer relative to demand. Now let's focus on the number everyone wants to hear. A top population, superb gem example of the 2002 Australian 10-cent coin has achieved an auction price of $35,000. That value reflects an elite condition coin, professionally graded at the highest level, with exceptional eye appeal and strong collector competition. This is not the price for an average coin from your pocket. This is the price for one of the very best known examples. This is what makes modern coin collecting so exciting. Even a coin from the early 2000s can become a serious investment when it is rare in top condition. The age of the coin is not always the key factor. Condition, population, and demand drive the market. If you have a 2002 Australian 10-cent coin, take a close look. Check the sharpness of the lyrebird's feathers. Look at the queen's portrait for wear. Tilt the coin under light and see if the luster flows smoothly across the surface. If it looks unusually clean and nearly perfect, it may be worth having it examined by a professional grading service. Most 2002 10-cent coins are worth 10 cents. A few are worth a small premium. But one exceptional example reached $35,000 because it stood above the rest in quality and rarity. So never underestimate your change. The smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. Keep checking, keep learning, and remember, your next high-value discovery could already be sitting in your pocket right now. Next up, I'm talking about a regular-looking 1976 Australian 10-cent coin, a coin most people would never look at twice. Yet in the right condition, it has reached an incredible value of $62,300. And today, we're going to break down exactly why. This is the 1976 Australian 10-cent coin from the Commonwealth of Australia. At first glance, it looks simple and ordinary. It carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Arnold Machin. You'll see the inscription Elizabeth II Australia around the edge. There is no mint mark on this coin, because at that time Australian 10-cent coins were struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra without a mint mark. So if you don't see a letter under the date, that is completely normal. The reverse features one of the most recognizable Australian designs, the superb lyrebird. This elegant bird with its flowing tail feathers fills the center of the coin. The detail on the feathers is extremely important for value. The date 1976 appears clearly on the reverse. Now let's talk about the metal composition, because this matters for both durability and collector demand. The 1976 Australian 10-cent coin is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 5.65 grams and has a diameter of 23.60 millimeters. It has a reeded edge. This cupronickel composition means it does not contain silver, so its value does not come from precious metal content. Its value comes purely from condition, rarity in high grades, and collector demand. Millions of these coins were struck in 1976, and most of them went straight into circulation. That means the majority of examples you find today are worn. Circulated coins usually show flattening on the lyrebird's feathers, light scratches in the fields, and wear on Queen Elizabeth II's hair details. In circulated condition, these coins are generally worth only face value or slightly above, maybe a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on condition. But here is where things change dramatically. The real money is in uncirculated, high-grade examples, especially coins graded by professional grading companies. When a 1976 10-cent coin survives in mint state condition, meaning it was never used in circulation, the details are sharp, the surfaces are clean, and the original mint luster shines brightly. The feathers of the lyrebird appear crisp and fully separated. The fields look smooth and reflective. There are very few contact marks. In lower mint state grades like MS63 or MS64, the value increases modestly. Collectors may pay a premium, but it is still within reach. However, when you move into extremely high grades like MS66 and above, the population drops sharply. Very few coins from 1976 were preserved carefully enough to survive in near-perfect condition. That is where scarcity begins to drive serious competition. Some of the most valuable examples are those graded at the very top of the scale, such as MS67 or higher, especially with strong eye appeal and blazing luster. Coins with minimal marks, clean surfaces, and sharp strikes become elite collectibles. Registry set collectors, those who compete to build the finest graded sets, are willing to pay huge premiums for the best-known example. There are also potential mint errors to watch for. While not extremely common for this year, collectors always look for off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planches, die cracks, and dramatic die clashes. A verified mint error in high grade can significantly increase value beyond a normal example. Even small die varieties, if documented and rare, can add interest and push prices higher. Another key factor is strike quality. Some 1976 coins show weaker details in the lyrebird's tail feathers. A sharply struck example with full feather definition is much more desirable. Eye appeal matters. Bright luster, no discoloration, and no heavy bag marks can make the difference between an average coin and a 5-figure coin. Condition is everything. A heavily circulated 1976 Australian 10-cent coin might be worth 10 cents. A lightly circulated one might be worth $1 or $2. A brilliant uncirculated example could be worth significantly more to the right buyer. But when we talk about elite, top population, investment-grade examples, coins that are nearly flawless and professionally graded at the highest level, that is where the market can explode. A top-condition 1976 Australian 10-cent coin has achieved a staggering auction result of $62,300. That price reflects extreme rarity in that specific grade, intense collector competition, and the demand for the finest known examples. It is not about the year alone. It is not about silver content. It is about condition, rarity, and market demand at the highest level. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Two coins can look almost identical to the naked eye, yet one is worth face value and the other is worth tens of thousands of dollars. The difference comes down to preservation, grading, and demand. So what should you do? First, check your 1976 Australian 10-cent coins carefully. Look at the lyrebird's feathers. Look at the shine. Look for scratches, marks, or wear. If your coin looks exceptionally sharp and bright, consider having it professionally graded. Do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. The next time you see a small silver 10-cent coin dated 1976, don't ignore it. That ordinary piece of change could be hiding extraordinary potential. Always check your coins closely, store them safely, and remember, the difference between 10 cents and $62,000 could be the condition of the coin in your hand. This is the Coin Studio, and your next valuable discovery might already be in your pocket.